Calling all F1 enthusiasts, welcome to F1 Wolf, your ultimate destination for F1 updates. Prepare for an exhilarating ride, F1 fans, as the cost cap controversy shakes up the world of racing. Since its inception in 2021, this new regulation has been surrounded by intrigue and speculation. While Red Bull's excessive spending has captured everyone's attention, could they be the sole offenders? Brace yourselves, because today we unveil a startling revelation. As many as 6 teams may have already violated the cost cap. Yes, you heard it correctly, 6 teams. Join F1 Wolf as we delve into this contentious issue, exploring the intricacies of the cost cap and uncovering the potential culprits. Brace yourself for an exciting journey through the high-stakes world of Formula One's financial battle. Welcome to our investigation of F1's cost cap puzzle. But before we do that, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below if you like all things F1. Alright, now let's get back to the video. Given that the cost cap in Formula One is a relatively new rule, many fans may not be familiar with its fundamental principle. It's quite straightforward. F1 teams are now bound by a specific spending limit each season, putting an end to reckless splurging on cars. In 2021, the cost cap was established at $145 million. While this might appear to be a substantial sum, Red Bull somehow managed to exceed that threshold. The figure was subsequently reduced to $140 million in 2022, and further to $135 million for 2023. One could assume that $135 million is more than sufficient for an F1 team to sustain itself during a single season. However, the cost cap comes with certain exceptions. Driver salaries, travel expenses, and marketing investments are not included in the cap. Nevertheless, some teams still find ways to flout these regulations. The introduction of the cost cap in Formula One had a primary objective: to bridge the gap among teams and foster a more competitive field. In the pre-cap era, powerhouses like Mercedes and Red Bull were believed to be spending a staggering $400 million per season, while smaller teams like Haas and Alfa Romeo could only allocate a quarter of that amount to their campaigns. This stark contrast in financial resources raised questions about how these underdog teams could possibly contend. By enforcing a similar expenditure limit across all teams on the grid, the cost cap aimed to level the playing field and promote greater competitiveness. Formula One had witnessed Mercedes' dominance throughout the hybrid era, with only the 2016 season offering an exciting title battle amidst an otherwise predictable landscape. The sport had become excessively dominated by the top-tier teams, losing some of the thrilling unpredictability that defines F1. Although the implementation of the cost cap hasn't resulted in drastic changes to the standings, it does not necessarily mean that the rules are being strictly followed. The reigning world champions in Formula One, perhaps unintentionally, seem to have overlooked the new regulations. It appears that while Formula One was explaining the rules to all teams, Christian Horner, the team principal of Red Bull, might have been lost in thoughts about Max Verstappen, considering that Red Bull violated the cost cap in their very first season under the new rules. The 2021 season was already steeped in controversy even before Red Bull's minor overspend of the cost cap came to light. The team misinterpreted 13 budget areas, leading to the exceeding of the cap. Towards the end of the 2022 season, F1 declared Red Bull guilty, and the penalties imposed were severe. Red Bull faced a hefty $7 million fine and a deduction of 10% of their aero testing time for 2023. The limit wind tunnel testing time for F1 teams made the loss of 10% a significant blow, which Red Bull was clearly unhappy about. Surprisingly, the punishment hasn't seemed to hinder Red Bull's performance, as they appear faster than ever in 2023. It is quite possible that Red Bull is not the sole team to have fallen afoul of the new cost cap rules. Christian Horner, the Red Bull team principal, found himself on the defensive for much of the latter part of 2022, tirelessly defending his team against criticisms regarding the cost cap breach. Interestingly, Horner often pointed fingers at other teams as well. During the last year, Horner made an intriguing statement regarding the possibility of other teams violating the salary cap. He stated, "A danger for 2022 is that there could be 6 teams in breach of the cap. Such a claim carries significant weight, and Horner provided an explanation for one of the reasons behind this situation. He added, "Energy prices have been exponential, but thankfully we've been protected from that. But there is that chance that several teams, many of which have mentioned it during F1 Commission meetings, will break the cap this year." The silence surrounding teams potentially breaking the cost cap in 2022 is partly due to the lengthy process of collecting each team's accounts. However, Christian Horner is not the only person expressing concern about other teams' spending habits. Stefano Domenicali, the CEO of Formula One Group, plays a crucial role in the sports regulation setting and has spoken about the possibility of teams breaching the cost cap. Domenicali stated in an interview with Sky Sports, "I'm more than nervous. I'm pretty sure that everyone understands now what the effects are if there is a breach. And I totally agree that the focus on this will actually be very big." He emphasized the importance of maintaining credibility and ensuring that the rules are respected. Domenicali also stressed the need for early control and certification to address any breaches promptly and maintain credibility. Meanwhile, Helmut Marko, Red Bull's advisor, is known for being outspoken in Formula One matters. Marko has previously mentioned other teams potentially exceeding the cost cap. He highlighted the significant impact of soaring energy prices, which greatly influenced team spending. Marko also defended Red Bull's overspending, citing vague rules and delayed clarifications from the FIA. Although Red Bull faced consequences for their cost cap breach, other teams remained relatively silent about the FIA's wording. It begs the question of which teams could be surpassing the spending limit. While Red Bull received significant attention for their breach, Aston Martin was also punished for procedural infringements of the 2021 F1 budget cap rules. However, Aston Martin did not exceed the cost cap, but inaccurately calculated their relevant costs. Aston Martin's close proximity to the cost cap in the past raises speculation about their compliance this season. Their remarkable performance improvement in 2023 further fuels curiosity about potential spending. McLaren Racing CEO Zak Brown has also been vocal about the cost cap and its impact on the team's sustainability. McLaren's sustainability report highlighted the challenge of including sustainability costs within the cost cap, despite F1's push for sustainability. Brown stated, "We strongly believe in the cost cap and wouldn't want to see anything that undermines its integrity. But current regulations have created some unintended barriers when it comes to investing in sustainability." McLaren's discontent with the current cost cap leaves open the question of whether they have breached it. Overall, while the 2022 cost cap breaches have yet to be fully revealed, concerns voiced by Domenicali, Marko, and Brown indicate that other teams may have encountered challenges or potentially exceeded the spending limits. The future will shed light on the outcomes and consequences of these potential breaches. The possibility of teams exploiting loopholes in the regulations to circumvent the spending limits is undoubtedly a concern for the FIA. Otmar Schaffnauer, the Alpine boss, shared his thoughts on teams utilizing different businesses to evade the cost cap. He expressed his worries, stating, "It seems like more and more teams are looking at their well-remunerated employees that way for cost cap reasons. And we've got to make sure that there comes a time where all these ancillary businesses that are now cropping up, though without a budget cap, wouldn't be there. We've got to look at that and make sure that the loopholes aren't big enough to where effectively we don't have a cap." Schaffnauer's point highlights the risk of teams using external businesses to bypass the budget cap. It poses a challenge for F1 to regulate teams with interconnected businesses that contribute to their F1 operations. As we await the outcome, it is evident that determining whether any teams have breached the cost cap will be a lengthy process. The report is expected to be ready around the summer break, leaving fans in anticipation. So the question remains, have any F1 teams violated the spending rules in 2022? Only time can reveal the answer. Let us know in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.